Good evening, and welcome to this week's London by Gaslight, a late Victorian age vampire the Masquerade chronicle set in 1892. Awakening for the night in the city of London this week are Eveline, the daughter of Cacophony, portrayed by Miss Hartz. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. Gain a hunger. Aldrich, of the Clan of Kings, portrayed by Bully from Tablegoth. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. Gain a hunger. Thurston, of the Clan of the Hidden, portrayed by Nitro Typat. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. Gain a hunger. Everyone's hungry tonight. Sir Drake Burton, from the Clan of the Beast, portrayed by Mark from the Boulette Club. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. So gain a hunger. Inspector Grey, from the Clan of the Hunt, portrayed by Noscavian. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber.
Did it go through?
Nope. You might want to refresh. You've been in Roll20 all week.
Yeah, let me do that.
In the meantime, Alistair, from the Clan of the Moon, portrayed by Tina. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Gain a hunger. Inspector Grey.
I'll just gain a hunger for
Okay.
expediency's sake.
Everyone else is doing it.
That's what the cool kids are doing. Alistair is hunting around Bethnal Green. The close-knit community has become even more closed off since the summer of last year's events, despite them not having been directly affected by the Ripper murders. Due to their non-native cultural heritage, they have become far more cautious, staying in early and locking their doors, avoiding any kind of possible issues. Fortunately for Alistair, he has already found several possible quarries that he might pursue. A young couple out for a romantic stroll under the moonlight. A woman of the night out to ply her trade to anyone with a spare coin, or more. And a middle-aged man making his way home probably after working 14 hours in a nearby factory.
Two people is too much for me at once, and the lady's just making money, so I'm gonna go after the guy.
Okay. The man is walking slowly down the street, fumbling with his keys in his pocket.
I let him get inside. I would sneak up behind him.
Are you going to intercept him before he goes in?
No.
The man goes into his house and closes the door behind him, making sure to lock it.
I'm gonna give it a couple minutes and then try to lock the door.
Dexterity and larceny, please.
Fail me now.
That's fine. The lock clicks under the guide of your hands, and you slowly, cautiously open the door. You find the house is quiet, with the resident asleep upstairs. Laid out in the relative squalor, perhaps the best thing they can afford, is a simple, plain wooden table and chairs with steel cutlery laid out and several dirty glasses. The dining room adjoins to the kitchen. From where Alistair is, he can already see the kitchen is barely clean, and various cooking utensils and pots and pans are left out uncleaned and rusted. A knife block lies next to the sink with several knives in place.
I activate Silence of Death.
Okay.
Do I know where he's at yet?
You know he's not downstairs.
Cool. I go to... Is there any blankets or anything in the living room?
Yes?
I'll take one into the kitchen, lay it by a chair for now.
Okay.
And then I will search for him.
Alistair slowly makes his way up the stairs, being careful not to make any extra noise from anything he touches or bashes into. He searches two of the simple rooms and finds his quarry laid out asleep. on a relatively dirty, unmade bed with simple sheets covered over him.
I whisper to myself. I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not. And I will pull a sock off the floor. And I want to do that. I'm going to walk up to the bed and then just in one fell swoop, I'm going to jump on top of him and shove the sock in his mouth. Surprise attack. Do I get advantage?
Which is better, strength or dexterity for you?
Dex.
Do dexterity and brawl for me, please.
Oh. 1.
I'm going to let you have that, because I can't think of a decent cost that doesn't fuck you up, and this is more interesting, so go for it.
And he's asleep. If he wakes up, I just wag my finger in front of his face. You're going to follow me downstairs. And then I will try to pick him up and hold on to his arms to kind of get him downstairs.
Okay. I'll you do that for free.
I sit him in the chair. And then I attempt to bind his hands behind the chair. I'll rip the blanket up to make bonds.
Do for me dexterity and streetwise.
Subterfuge? Streetwise? Okay. 3.
Oh, that's fine, yeah. You tie him in a very tight knot, strained in the chair with his hands behind his back.
I sit down next to him and just kind of look at him for a little bit. And then I get up and I head over towards the knives.
Is the sock still in his mouth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'll pick up one of the knives and just kind of twirl it on the tip of my, the tip on my finger and walk over. Walk behind him and just kind of, Victorian sock, caress the blade across, from one side to the back, but not actually cut him yet.
You can see sweat starting to pour down the man's brow.
You know, this city has a history. And inside that history, there's a worse history. I'll slice his arm and then lick the blood off the blade in front of him and show my fangs.
Okay. All free.
Have you ever heard of my kind?
You just see him shake his head left and right.
I'm going to walk behind him and I'll just take his head and slam it on the table.
Yeah, that's going to be free as well. You split the part of his head open and you notice blood congealing down the side of his head. In your own head, you hear this strange song about jokers and clowns surrounding you.
I'll give that evil laugh just for you guys, the same laugh I had when I opened the door that last time. You know, people like me usually keep souvenirs. I will go behind and cut a finger off.
The man lets out a scream in pain. Even though it's muffled, it still makes quite a loud noise, filling the room. You're not worried, though, as it's still not going to be enough to penetrate the thick walls of the house.
I look at the finger and go, that's the wrong one. I throw it and I cut another one off.
The man screams again, and his head seems to sway to and fro as if he's fighting to bring himself in and out of consciousness.
I will wipe his tears away. It's okay. It's okay. And then I'll flip the chair around on him and then sit down, straddling him in the chair.
Straddling him in the chair.
In the chair.
Hot.
And the chair, technically. Yeah, I know, right? Ow. I'll give him a kiss on his cheek. I'll make it easy for you. And then I will feed and drain him.
Do your feeding roll for me, please.
I have 2 different feeding rolls, I think, actually.
Are you Alley Cat?
Sandman. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm looking it up. I thought I had it saved. Nope, still dexterity stealth. You want to roll something different? I can.
No, I think I'll do. That's fine.
2.
Your fangs extend further out, and you bite harshly into the side of the man's face and begin to sup upon the vitae. How much would you like to take?
I drain him.
Okay. Take 2 humanity stains, and you may slake 5 hunger, reducing yourself to 0.
When I'm done, I look at the finger and go, nah, I want a lucky foot, and I cut his foot off and take it with me.
Okay. Free. Alistair exits the house, straightens his clothes, and casually walks down the street, feeling quite proud of himself and fulfilled. Slightly aroused. Outside the main Elysium of the city, the Coterie have all met together outside the entrance of the building, including Alistair. As they exit their carriage, a cloaked figure steps towards them.
Greetings, Childer. How are you this night?
We're not allowed to talk to you.
Danger. No, wait.
Yeah, we are well, Mr. Aldo. How are you doing this evening? What do we owe the unexpected visit?
Oh, I am well. It is good to see you, young Master Aldrich. I have need to speak with you, preferably in private, someplace safe, if you would be willing to give me some time from one of your nights. I have arranged an Elysium out near Marylebone, out at Cavendish Square. Would you have some time for me this night, young Master Aldrich, and your most prestigious coterie?
You need just myself or myself and the Coterie?
The Coterie, please.
I'll just look around to the rest of the group. Is there any reason that we cannot accept this invitation?
I don't see why not. It certainly would be good to hear the good man out.
Tremere have been full of interesting opportunities lately. Come, you may ride in the carriage and give us directions on where we're going if you wish.
Thank you.
So we do that.
Everyone heads into the carriage, with Aldo having given directions to the driver. Is there anything you wish to discuss upon your journey?
I would say the ball's kind of in Aldo's court. Something he wants to tell us on the way, or wait till we get there.
So, I'm not quite sure where I'd be sitting in the carriage, but I'm just going to guess maybe I'm across from Aldrich and Evelyn, because they're usually together. Does that sound about right?
Sure.
All right, so Aldo will just kind of look back and forth between Evelyn and Aldrich and just give a little bit of a smile, you know, but nothing beyond that. And it's good to see you again, Aldrich and Lady Evelyn. I am glad to see you are still on such wonderful terms, and I do appreciate all of you taking time to speak with me this night. Do any of you have any questions for me? We have not spoken in for a time. I can entertain light questions, but it is imperative, unfortunately, at this time, that we be careful. So we need to speak safely. I cannot discuss anything serious at this time.
I myself was curious. What is the nature of your relationship with your primogen?
Relationship with what? I'm sorry?
Your primogen, the Tremere primogen. We had a meeting with him the other evening. I'm sure you heard.
Yes, indeed. I'm glad you had the chance to speak with him. We are, I would say, partners, acquaintances. We both work towards trying to elevate the most misunderstood position of the Tremere. We have been looked down upon for whatever reason, but we seek to elevate our standing in the city, which has not been, well, it's not been easy since Valerius has welcomed us in. Well, we work together.
Good to know. I will admit I prefer negotiations with you to him. I was wondering if you were here on some official capacity on his behest.
Oh, no. He does not tell me what to do. He's the primogen, but we keep our respective circles. You need not fear that. He's a fun one, is he not? And I just kind of look to see what they say.
Yeah, he kept things entertaining. I'll give him that. So, you work with him, not against him. Is there a schism within the clan, or is it just different methods of operation?
Oh, no, not a schism in any way. As you well know, it is most important for clans to be united. Simply, my position would be unique, you might say, because of my abilities. So you might call me an ambassador of sort between the other clans. I have something all kindred of power are interested in. Knowledge, young child. Knowledge which I offer to your coterie. more freely than to any other.
You said it yourself. You're interested in self-interest.
Well said,
Standing
indeed.
of the Tremere. So, if you're to share this knowledge with us, then whatever we can do for you must solely serve your self-interest, so forgive me if I'm not overly excited at the prospect.
Ah, I see you begin to learn of our world. Good, good. Never trust anyone. And my young child, do not trust me, but you can trust me to look out for myself. And for now, our needs align. I would make it through the storm that I see in this fog alive. And as I mentioned last we spoke, your unique coterie seems to be able to change things that should not be changed. So for now, our needs align.
For now.
Interesting choice of words there. Seems that the idea of change has really become a driving force in Coterie's lives recently.
Perhaps, but I believe some of you here are familiar with the need to strike bargains you might not otherwise want to. And while go on.
I was just going to enthusiastically agree with you.
Aldo will simply smile slightly under his cowl. Indeed, but we all have trying times ahead of us, and the Tremere, as much as we would wish otherwise, are not welcome in the city. We are on precarious standing. You are all young, and perhaps you do not know the politics behind the scenes, but you have stepped into dangerous waters, and some of them have been on my account. So, while we all look for our personal interests, I think it is also in our personal interest to ensure that we all survive, which is what I need to speak with you about. Unfortunately, but we cannot speak here, but we will speak soon.
I eagerly await to hear more then. Just sit back in the carriage and wait for their arrival, keeping an eye on Aldo.
And then I'll just kind of look over at Alistair, and I'll say, I can see you are having a wonderful night. It is wonderful to see you again.
We're not supposed to talk to you.
I like this one. Indeed. So, if we are not allowed to speak, how are we to share knowledge?
I don't know. You tell me, because you just said we were going to tell us something and you couldn't tell us here.
Oh, you are wonderful. Good. Dear Evie, I'm so glad that you and Aldrich are getting along. How have you been since our last adventures together?
The night serves me well, thank you. And you?
The night cloaks us all, young one. And I believe, Sir Drake, we have established that we are guarded allies for the time, but I will say this to you, while we work together, my knowledge will come more freely than it would otherwise, and for the right price, I might give you some of the things that you seek. And I'll just stare into his eyes at that moment.
I start humming Ring Around the Rosie during this.
Halfway through, I join him quietly.
Mine sounds more sinister than yours.
Probably.
Imagine so. And
So there's a lot of dissonance,
It's-
probably.
forgive me, Tremere, but how would you deign to know what I find of value?
That would be for you to decide. But I offer knowledge. Knowledge that might help you against particular shackles.
Eyes widen a bit at the mention of the word shackles, and he'll sit back again in the chair.
And then Aldo will just look at both Thurston and Inspector Gray. And greetings to the both of you as well. I did not get to speak with either of you much. Are you not permitted to speak with me as well? Or do you have any questions of your own?
Gray would give a nod, he would say, well, Aldo, you've certainly been polite to work with. And on a personal level, I do see a deal of respect with you. However, you must understand my skepticism with trusting the clan you belong to. I'm certain you don't have control over which clan embraces you. It's the lot you've been given. But I still hold reservations regarding your bloodline.
My dear Inspector, I most agree, but I would point out, perhaps, it is less clan than what we are. You are young, but do not trust our kind. Any of them, except to help themselves. But I understand, and I appreciate your gesture of hospitality.
I do appreciate, Aldo, that out of all the kindred we have talked to from your kind, you definitely are the most respectable when it comes to the respect you show to us. But as you might understand, I, of all people, know the privacy at which it takes to divulge certain information, and I know that you said that we are going to an Elysium of your own accord, right?
Oh, I do. Indeed, I understand your trepidation. It is still approved by the prince. It is simply Marie Labone. I have just pulled some strings to ensure that it is empty for us, that we might speak, but it is not something I myself have set up.
Thank you. That was the information I was looking for. I fully understand that it was probably a legitimate establishment of Elysium. I was just worried about who else was going to be there.
Oh, indeed, you are wise to scope out, but that is your clan, is it not? And myself, I cannot say my clan, but myself and your clan have many interests intertwined, and I'm interested to work with you in particular, young Nosferatu.
I do tell, I'm excited to hear about this.
Oh, so I didn't know if Shiv was pulling something there. But no, indeed, as you know, young Nosferatu, the clan from which you have been embraced values knowledge. And I care nothing more in this world than for knowledge. I trade in secrets, and I gain the most in return from your clan. So the more knowledge I can be given, and then Aldo just kind of looks at all of them, is the best payment in kind for anything I might offer as well.
Understandable. Shall we proceed?
I think we should be just about here.
The carriage stops in between Cavendish Square and the main area of Marylebone. Aldo and the Coterie arrive outside an unassuming building on the streets of Marylebone. Wasting no time, Aldo exits the carriage and heads straight to the door. He holds it open and invites the Coterie inside. They walk through the large, empty hallway of the building and proceed deeper inside, finding a modest-sized area at the back of the building filled with tables and chairs, but empty of company. The Coterie find a seat large enough at a table to sit them all, as Aldo joins them and places his clasped hands upon the table as he proceeds to explain to the Coterie why he has summoned them together this night.
My dear child, an ancient artifact has possibly been found once more. It has taken various forms over the years. Some say a magnifying glass, some say a telescope. It is an artifact that assists with seeing. I am sure you can understand my interest in such a thing. However, it is dangerous, for it allows things to be seen as they truly are. Many times has it been sought to be destroyed over the years, and it has always resurfaced. It has been seen again, child. The hands of the owner of a traveling freak show. He's been using it to expose and kill kindred. I am sure you understand the danger to the Masquerade, should this fall into someone else's hand. This cannot be allowed. But I do not desire to bring this to the attention of others. I want this item, if possible, for myself. It may prove beneficial in our near future. I would ask you to help me seek out this artifact and kill the owner. She knows too much. Would any of you be interested in taking on this task?
Is the owner like us?
No.
Okay, I'm down.
Hey, please, Aldo, do not let us interrupt you. You were just about to get to the part where you say what do we get in return.
Indeed, young one. I will offer to you a boon. Shall you give me this artifact? I will gauge your future for each of you. It may not sound interesting or important now, but believe me, to know a future before it comes to pass is invaluable knowledge. I will give this to you if you can get this artifact for me. Apart from that, this is a breach of the Masquerade. We must hunt it down anyway. But should you bring this item to me, I will not let you go unrewarded.
You know those tricks. I can read the future too.
I can do a card trick.
So can I. Same thing.
Indeed, so, jokes aside, the offer stands. I do not wish to put into jeopardy our tentative alliance, but I would have you understand, and then I'll look at all of them. You're young, child, and you have been rising quickly. Let me ask you a question. Do you possess the power to hold on to what you have already taken?
That sounds like a threat.
You walk in a world of threats, young one. I am not threatening you. I am offering help. I am simply pointing out perhaps something you have not thought about. Do you have the power needed to protect yourselves against others that might not be so interested in diplomacy?
If we had such power, it would be silly of us to reveal it.
My dear child.
I walk up to Thurston. Does she have a thing she's hiding from us?
Demon dude!
To bluff is important. This is true. You are so young. Power comes with age, with knowledge. Unless you have someone very important behind you, there is no way you stand a chance against the threats that approach you. I have seen the future. You may decide if you believe me or not. But the threats you are up against, none of us may stand against alone.
This
Go ahead, Gray.
this target, you said it's not one of us. Surely it's not a mundane mortal. How would a mundane mortal be able to keep such an artifact?
This is why I approach you. I have questions myself, and I would have the aid of your Coterie's prowess as I seek out the answers to these questions.
I worry that this individual may be someone's ghoul or related to the church in some way, a cat's paw, where if we were to eliminate them, we could anger or offend a greater threat.
I understand. I do. I have spoken with Matthew again. He knows of this. Either way, should a kindred be ordering his ghoul to expose other kindred and kill them, is a breach regardless. You stand safe on both accounts, but I respect your reserve.
It was a very good question, Inspector. It does seem like every time we step on a bug in this city, it's someone's prized bug. It's hard to know where we can lay our feet. So if we have your word that this individual is not the tool of someone more powerful, as you say.
I cannot know. I am blind to this one. But I believe the artifact blinded me. But I cannot. The circumstances would lend me to believe that it is not another kindred working. For a powerful kindred would not need to resort to such methods, and a weaker kindred resorting to such methods will be held answerable to the prince. Either way, he must be stopped, but I need the artifact. But this is a blank spot to me, which seems to be an uncomfortable occurrence when I need to seek out your coterie. But the last time we worked together, you were admirable in your ability to overcome said obstacles.
Will it be rude to ask of a proof of sorts, insurance, that you can do what you say you can do? As a dear Lady Eveline inquired, many can claim to know the future in one way or another. Is there something you can tell us that you know about someone here or someone we know? Would perhaps prove that you are able to see things beyond what most people can see? Or are we simply to take your word and we will get some cryptic, self-fulfilling prophecy after risking our lives?
This
Aldo,
is
would
fair.
you like to use your power?
Sure.
Okay. Do a rouse check for me, please.
I have power to. I think.
Gain a hunger. And do the Ken Daddy special.
You have that, Alder? The Ken Daddy?
I think it's against Twitch's terms of service.
Not that one.
Oh.
Wow.
That's the Ken Daddy ski special. It's fashionably late.
So, I will. Okay, perfect. So, your request is demeaning to one of my stature, but I do also understand your hesitancy. I would remind you for future, be wary. Be wary of questioning your elders. Most are not as patient as I. Also, I do not believe that this one is a kindred, but I cannot know for sure. There is something dangerous, so I am asking you to take some measure of risk, and so I will do as you ask. And then Aldo proceeds to stand up. He takes several items from under his cloak, lays them out on the table, and then asks everyone to stand up and step back for a moment. If you could please step back. I would prefer to be a safe distance from any around me while I do this.
I hide behind Sir Drake.
Yeah, Alder
I
can
make
stand,
sure
take
to
a
be
step back.
holding.
Yeah, escort
Yeah.
lady a safe distance.
But Sir Drake looks at me, can't be too careful.
I have the uncanny ability to be very careful. I'm going to step back myself.
Gray
Who
would
are you
take a
going to
step back.
cast the ritual upon, Kendu? Aldo. Kendoldo.
I will look at Aldrich with a knowing smile, and I will say, young Master Aldrich, since you are so interested in the boon, I shall grant it to you.
Good choice. Okay, then Aldo, do your roll, please.
Don't fuck it up like the first time with Aldrich.
Yeah, Aldrich, you see a bit of a grimace. He fucking hates magic and supernatural shit, but he did ask for this.
I drop Aldrich's arm and take a step away from him.
What am I
I
rolling?
do that thing like, come over here with me, hide behind Sir Drake.
You see under rituals, you've got the dice icon furthest right. Intelligence and discipline.
Yeah.
Hit that button, please.
My blood surge for this.
If you want. Do a rouse check for me, please. Gain another hunger.
This
And
is the ritual. He's just gonna feed on us all.
you may add a +3 modifier.
Ooh.
That's a damn big success.
Oh,
There aren't any zeros in that either. Shit.
Mm.
You stare deep into Aldrich's eyes. You look upon him, and you have a flash of vision. You see him standing in what appears to be a house made of flesh, surrounded by sinew and bone, and him with two eyes glaring right back at you.
Aldo is standing there, an almost empty gaze on his face as he stares into Aldrich's eyes. and steam slowly begins to lift off of his body. You dabble in dangerous affairs, young child. Dangerous affairs indeed. Tell me, what is it you seek to gain?
I seek nothing but what I deserve. A place of influence, power. Suited for one such as myself.
Fair request.
As I mentioned before, and Aldo is shaking a little bit now. The room is shaking with him a little bit. As I mentioned before, be sure you have the power to back up such desires, and it is most dangerous, child, to think you can gain that power from others. The demon that you play with, beware if you find the kindred to be backstabbers. I assure you, you will not come out on top on this, not without knowledge.
Evelyn's kind of snooty look drops at that point.
Thank you for the demonstration. If I can have but a moment to discuss with my coterie, and then we will get back to you very shortly, I promise.
Indeed. Aldo just turns and steps out of the room.
Yeah, I was gathering the others. I know you've told the Samedi about their demon. Is there anyone else that anyone has confided in outside of this circle?
I certainly have not spoken of it to a single soul.
I gesture
Perhaps
over to Thurston. When you say that, point to Thurston.
Looking at Thurston too.
Yeah, this was kind of directed at Thurston.
I've been operating under the assumption that whatever we know, his primogen knows.
I hope that is not the case.
Mm.
But only Thurston can clear this.
It's what they're good
Wait.
at.
Does the harpy know?
Well,
No.
considering we had someone outside of our group come and investigate the house and tell us pretty much what it is, I can imagine that information got around quite quickly. But
You talking about the more dead the Samdi?
the one that has a liking for you, yes, that one.
Yeah. Aldrich said other than that.
No, any good Nosferatu knows to hold any information this powerful close to the chest.
Well, we have reason to believe that maybe his powers of perception are not a scam. This type of work honestly seems a bit straightforward. A bit relieving. It was good of you to ask, Inspector. I'm getting sick of getting trapped in other people's business every time we try to do something. This might be our chance to actually remove a problem without ruffling any feathers.
The problem you're referring to is Aldo, I'd agree. Don't like that. Well, I don't like it when people know that. And let's be frank here. I could utter a few words and vaporize them on the spot, no? Any of us could.
You exaggerate.
He's complimenting you.
If anything, it was a testament to your power. My point being, even if that wasn't the case, that's now the perception of us. There are those that would seek to ensure that doesn't happen, react reflexively.
Indeed. Even if we are not the one doing the striking blow, we still need to uphold the teachings of the Masquerade. Your rules, rather.
I have no, end of the night, I have no issues with doing this in exchange for the boon he offers. I am quite curious, because I am a man of vision and planning, but more and more unknowns are cropping up. If you could eliminate at least one of them, it would be beneficial to me. Or perhaps we could ask for something else, or something in addition to this. So I wanted to get everyone's opinions, agreeing to anything.
No, that is what I planned on doing.
I'm all for more information.
Information is nice, but also, if I understand the Tremere correctly, very interested in perhaps their protections as well. A ward or something of the sort on our humble domicile.
Yes,
You said, Sir Drake, there's people who are eventually will find out and eventually will want to separate us from our benefactor.
Yes, I've come to find with a lot
Shut
of
the fuck up,
things that-
Thurston. Inspector Gray's been trying to talk for 20 minutes.
Sorry.
No, I'm okay. Knowledge is power. I think it would be wise to at least pursue what we can. Being able to make informed decisions will allow us to better plan for a multitude of circumstances in the future.
So you're in agreement? We'll do this for him.
Aye.
Would be fun.
I do have reservations regarding returning the artifact to him, but if that's the only way we can get knowledge, and knowledge of the future could be quite valuable, then I suppose that may be a price we'd have to pay.
Yes, for someone that wants us to go and retrieve this artifact. And mind you, this might just be from the fact that we have simply not asked yet, but he has not divulged what this artifact is.
Some sort of looking or something to help see things. It's a magnifying glass or telescope. You know, the rough nature of the artifact seems to take different forms. I'm curious about that as
yes.
well, but
Some sort of looking glass that shows things as they are. I'd be curious to see. He said nothing about viewing him through the looking glass before giving it to him. I'd be curious.
I go over and pick a flower and walk over, and while I'm smelling it, I just say, I can do that. And I'll cast Premonition. I think it's a rouse check.
Yep.
Three.
You see a wooden floor coated in black ash.
Well, that's ominous.
the flowers
What
don't
is?
smell good.
It didn't really tell me a lot. I saw a floor with dark ashes on it.
Yeah, that does not seem too specific.
I'm
Well, it would
better
be
you can.
interesting to look at Aldo
Hit the flower.
using this, I think it would perhaps be most beneficial. We know there's an item that our benefactor is connected to. And if anything could identify this item, it sounds like it would be this. So perhaps if I could negotiate having Aldo, upon discreet delivery of the item, that he will use it in our place. He already knows what is there, apparently, so perhaps he can identify which item we might need to keep handy to help our bargaining power with the demon.
We should settle for nothing less then.
Worst case scenario, the demon eats him, and sure will be very happy about that.
This is worthless to me.
Talking about eating him? Or either way. Let's ask Aldo and then proceed. Unless there's anything else.
Yes. Now, where did he go off to? Where is Aldo?
I assume he's just
I yell out loud for
standing
him.
nearby.
He could be in Elysium,
yeah,
though I'm not sure.
Assuming he's still within eye shot or whatever, yeah, I'll wave him over. Or approach him and... No, we will do this for you. We would be most grateful if in addition to... Or perhaps instead of, I can give up my part of the boon of telling my future. If you would be able to use this item to identify another item of import in a haven we have recently acquired.
Let me. Aldo steps back for a moment. His countenance, not his face, but his demeanor, slightly frosty. Let me understand. I have offered you a boon, and you seek to change what I have offered you. Is this correct?
Well, you offered, it seemed like a specific boon, a boon simply to tell our future. If your boon is just a boon of our interpretation, then we accept.
And you would ask me to use this boon on your unwelcomed guests. Is this correct?
I believe so. Would this boon be for each of us or for as a coterie?
The boon was originally for the future of your entire coterie. I will not offer you two boons. You may choose for me to tell you the future, which may prove of great importance to the lot of you, and Aldo slowly looks around, but which many of you do not seem to believe in. Or I can give you knowledge you seek of this unwelcomed guest, which may indirectly prove beneficial to you in the long run as well. But as of now, I do not offer both. Remember, the Camarilla is asking you to do this. I am simply asking for the artifact.
Yeah, I'll look to the others. I am satisfied either way. What the rest of you like to do.
Well, the knowledge of our Coterie's future would certainly help us position ourselves and plan. The knowledge of the entity could be a double-edged sword. I'm sure you've heard of scholars learning unknowable knowledge that breaks them. I worry if this entity is what it claims to be, it may be too much for us to know what it truly is.
Well, we know there's an item that it is specifically bound to. I simply want that identified.
See, where I stand, with all due respect, I think you're going to be giving us both. You ask, and you say the Camarilla wants us to resolve the situation with this unknown individual. You ask for the artifact. You come to us because you don't want anyone else to know what's going on, do you?
Not for the time being.
So, we do the boon and we retrieve the artifact for you, and you tell us our future. And so, you agree to use the artifact in the manner in which you indicate. Works for us. Plus with our eternal landlord. We don't tell anyone else that you have it.
Aldo stands there for a moment looking at everyone. I seem to have made a mistake. I have sought to be diplomatic, and you've taken it for kindness. My dear Coterie.
If you like, I can also read your palm.
My dear young ones. You are worthless worms. Shall I put it that way? Okay. I have treated you with respect, and you have done nothing but disrespect me.
I did nothing like that.
I'm sorry. One of your other voices did, my dear Malkavian. But, that aside, the important thing here, this artifact that I seek to find for you, is for your sake. I'm doing fine, but your future is interesting to me. I believe I said before, and I do not like having my words forgotten, that I'm here because you interest me, and your ability to change the future surprises me. I will turn at this moment, and I will leave. If I must. Either way, you must retrieve this artifact. I will find a way to get it another way. I simply offer to use it for you. If that is not important to you, however, then I do understand. You do withhold the right to determine your future and your own actions. But I grow tired of your questioning. Either accept my help, or do not. But do not question me every step of the way. And then Aldo just kind of steps back and folds his hands into his cloak.
So you're going to read our future. You're going to use the artifact to aid us.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said there, I'm sorry.
You're going to read our future, and you're going to use the artifact to aid us. Have I understood that correctly?
Yes, to keep you alive in the storm that is to come. You tread dangerous waters, young one.
I think we're in agreement then. Apologize for our curiosity. As you said, we're young. We simply do not know better.
You have been
Consider us
warned
learned.
multiple times. I remember while I stood there with you, Valeria, and I remember myself standing up for you, for which I do not recall proper thanks. I remember protecting you then. If you question my desire to keep you safe, then please remember what I have already done. Nobody likes to be questioned repeatedly. But if we are ready to continue on our journey, I am still interested in our arrangement, but do know it will be dangerous. I do not believe this one to be mortal, but the fact that he is still operating fine, there is something more going on here. So do know you are getting into danger. But for the knowledge of your future, how important is this?
Very well. We are in agreement then. Let us continue. Point us where to go. We will take care of this for you.
Thank you. There's a hidden train station on the outskirts of the city. That will take us to the outskirts of the city. It is near Melcombe Place. I can take you there and help you to board it. If we are all in agreement. And I just look at everyone.
No arguments here.
I look at
Alright.
Aldrich.
I look towards Lady Evelyn for a second, and I'll just nod in a reassuring way. Then look back to Aldo. Let us be off. Yeah, I can provide us a ride to this train station.
Okay.
Seeing Alistair talking to himself there, I kind of snap my fingers. Hey, Alistair, we're leaving now. Come on.
What? Okay, all right.
Aldo takes the Coterie through the streets from Elysium and guides them to the station hidden from the kind's view. The Coterie take a moment to stare at the blank spot on Melcombe Place as Aldo carries on walking. He disappears in front of them, before stepping back and gesturing to them to follow. They follow him through the veil that conceals the hidden station from view, and approach the simple platform and shelter, boarding a train that is already waiting, and soon it leaves the platform. Is there anything you wish to discuss upon your choo-choo ride?
At least it wasn't platform 9 3/4.
That's King's Cross.
Mm-hmm.
Aldo
I
kind of
s-
sits off to the side, just obviously not wanting to speak with anyone right now.
Yeah, I assume we wouldn't have to pick up anything. Those who are usually armed, I'm assuming, as armed as they always are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like it'll probably just be kind of a tense, quiet.
Those are
ride.
hands shiver. Arms.
-1 XP to Alistair. The train stops as Aldo announces the end of the line has been reached. They are within walking distance of the freak show's location. They have now only but to walk there, find the owner, kill him, and take the artefact in whatever form it might be. They walk towards a tent, and they can see in the distance. They stop a short distance away from the entrance gate, knowing they should pay to get in so as not to draw attention to themselves.
Yeah, Aldrich will pay for the group.
You know, after all the last few years of being called a freak show, I never thought I'd be visiting one.
I think after getting off the train, I would have before getting off the train, I'd have Inspector Gray use Blush of Life.
Okay, rouse check
Ooh,
for me,
good
please.
call.
Click the button. Did it go through?
There it goes. Gain a hunger.
Yeah. What's the temperature like at the moment where we're at? Is it like cold? Like see your breath cold? That's all I'm asking for.
Not quite see your breath cold, no.
Okay. Yeah, screw it. I won't do Blush of Life.
It's not going to help
I'm
you
ugly
much
enough
anyway,
as it
really.
is. Yeah, exactly.
It's fair.
Yeah.
That was my logic, so.
The Coterie approach the ticketing booth. The lady sat behind the desk gives them all and each a quick, piercing look. The Coterie and Aldo walk into the circus grounds, surrounded by oil lamplights. Attraction tents are located around the grounds. As they look around, all they can see are various attractions, including a freak show, a fortune teller, and a magic show. Dispersed kine walk all around, some in couples, others on their own, winding in and out of the various attraction tents.
See, we can get our fortune told here.
I encountered a few places like this in traveling across Russia. Dancing bears and simple tricks and nonsense designed to play on the superstitions of the peasantry. Be more careful of con men at this point than anything else.
And I shoot a glance at Aldrich as I say that as well, just really quickly.
Slightest hint of a smile at that before turning to Aldo. Yeah, this individual, he is the owner of this entire establishment, or is he a showman presenting the freak show, as you said?
The owner. He will be difficult to find.
You have people very good at that. The inspector, Mr. Drake.
What's the name of the circus, Shiver? Let me rephrase. If I look up to look at the name of the circus, could I potentially assume that the owner's name is on it, like Barnum and Bailey?
Yeah. The owner's name is Mike Boom Stand
I don't care
Table
what his,
Monitor.
I don't care what his name is. I'm just saying, would it have his name?
So it's Boomstand Circus.
Yes.
So I point that out. Would his name be whatever the fuck it is?
It could well be. Mike Boomstand's Traveling Freak Show.
It's a name that would catch some attention.
I would imagine there's some sort of a tent or something where the owner would preside. This is a traveling establishment, yes? So there must be a nice administrative type setup. Perhaps myself and Miss Eveline can have a complaint, inquire. We are of well means. Perhaps if we demand to speak to the owner because of something, a request would be met.
Aldo will just whisper quietly, but loud enough so they can hear. Beware. He will know who you are. Just a reminder.
Perhaps
we do the opposite. Perhaps we ask to join his employ. No one can sing like I can.
Kills those he understands are different. Are our kind. Is this not correct, Aldo?
I'm sorry, I missed the first thing you said there. I apologize. What was that?
You said he kills those he discovers are kindred. Yes?
Yes, he has been seeking out and killing kindred. So I would be wary of walking up to him as a kindred and demanding to speak to him.
Could I look around for some signage or something that might point to where the main tent is for the carnival?
So you can do that for free. All you see is the freak show, fortune teller's tent, and the magician's tent.
There's a magician.
I'm gonna go.
I have to hang out with the weirdos, and I do blush alive.
Do a rouse check for me, please. Gain a hunger.
Aldrich is going to approach the woman who just gave us her tickets.
Okay. What?
I had an investment meeting with. I was told the owner would meet me here. Where could I find him?
Dunno. Probably wandering around. It's my best female circus performer voice.
Spot on. Does he not have a? Where are his quarters?
Ain't telling you. Can't tell customers that. Just go in and enjoy the show.
I'm going
Guys, everyone
to
wanna talk to
produce a
management.
large amount of money for this time, which I have no idea what that would be, but Aldrich does. Have a sizable bribe presented. I think it would be worth everyone's time. Time is money, after all. If you could just direct me to where I need to go.
She takes the money and stuffs it down the
I
front of
don't
her
give her
dress.
the money yet.
Oh, you haven't given her
Says
the
or
money.
points. Yeah, I'm not just.
You trying to bribe us? Do you
Tries-
know how this ain't like a normal business? We're a family here. Look at us. You think anyone's gonna look out for freaks apart from other freaks? I mean, listen to me. You
Yes.
think I can get a job whispering sweet nothings in some bloke's ears with a voice like this?
So you do not want the money, is what I'm hearing?
We don't need no money. We got everything we need.
That is not. All right. I'll take my money and go back to the Coterie. Well, the traditional means are not going to work. It's like we're going to have to sniff around and find him.
Shiv, can Aldo use Sense the Unseen at this point?
Yes. What are you going to use it on?
I just wanted to see if there's like anything that strength of magic trail or whatever that would indicate that the owner has walked that way while carrying this item.
Sense the unseen arouse check?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, it's
I can
automatic
check.
fail.
So just roll wits and discipline, right?
Nope, it's an automatic fail.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hang
Aldrich,
on. No, I'm lying. Fuck, I'm lying. I'm lying so far out my ass.
I was gonna say, he doesn't see something glowing, or
Roll your roll.
So I gotta find it again.
Yeah, wits and us.
the artifact is being locked in a lead box.
Can what is my hold on? Sorry, I had to check what my wits and discipline are to see if I need a blood surge. Sorry.
I get to roll real dice for this. I'm excited.
Oh dang it.
Oh my.
Oh no, 6 is good.
that's good.
Not good enough. As you will the
Really?
vitae. Really. As you will the vitae to your eyes and mind, you attempt to penetrate and sense that is normally outside of your purview. Unfortunately, there is something stopping you from being able to cast your vampiric powers, and you see nothing. You get nothing. Good day, sir.
Beat me to it.
Dang.
I go find the nearest clown. I'm like slumped over because I feel like I gotta hang out with the weirdos.
I funnily enough,
You find the nearest clown who is named Bobo Jojo.
Hi.
Leave Europe.
I start to do it back to him. I try to mimic what he does. And I look real sad when I do it.
Would you like a job in my cabinet?
Are you hiring?
Very hard finding good eggs.
I hate eggs.
Don't like eggs? Well, ban eggs. No eggs. Never liked those European eggs anyway. Much better British eggs. Only best British salmonella for everyone.
I feel like there's a British joke here that I'm not getting because I'm not British.
Yeah,
so I can't play along. So I do whatever it is that makes this more funny.
Can I roll for funniness?
Yeah.
Can I roll for context, please?
So what are we doing now?
I don't know. I'm just trying to make friends with the clown.
Let's
Aldrich
move
used
on to
money.
someone else.
That's all he's got. So he's waiting for the investigative types to.
I was gonna have him tell me where the owner was.
Aldrich, I think it would be wise that as few people as possible know that we are trying to find someone here. Let's try to be quiet about this.
I agree.
And-
We will follow your lead.
Gray would start trying to look around, do some investigation, either reading some signage or I guess I read the signage. I'll pick a tent. Let's say the freak show tent. Pop in there
Okay.
and start looking around.
Just you in the freak show tent?
I would have followed him if I
Yeah,
saw
I'll
him
go.
discovered the freak show
I'll
tent.
be going with him.
All
I
right.
assume we're all sticking together because this is not a good place to split up.
Yeah, I didn't
No,
want
it's
to
not,
split
yeah.
up, but as soon as somebody went to the freak show tent, I was going to follow him.
Are you still talking with Bobo Jojo?
You may not
Alistair?
make it back out.
I mean, if he starts making references I don't understand about, I'll just kick dirt on his feet and leave.
Okay. Good. British dirt. British dirt. Best dirt.
Guys, that clown sucks.
Yeah, well, some twat voted him fucking in. Sorry. The Coterie walk into the moderately sized
Oh, I
warm
get it
tent.
High five.
And are immediately greeted by a man dressed in a worn and torn red long-tailed coat and scruffy-looking top hat. Ah! Fancy dandies and dames, well apart from your pet leper here, I see. Come, roll up. Let me show you the wondrous creatures from around the world. Behold! The first on our tour, the Majestic Mermaid from the far-off Pacific Ocean. Don't get too close, for her eyes can entrance you. But fear not, for her siren song won't be a problem, for we have removed her tongue.
Is it like a fish fetus we're looking at?
No, it's a mermaid.
Okay.
Whatever happens, I just stick my tongue out at her.
Oh, it's just rude.
The Coterie and their guide stand in front of the glass, water-filled tank, watching the mermaid swim around occasionally, stopping in front of the group and trying to catch eye contact with one of them, as the tour guide smacks the glass with the top of a cane he carries, dissuading the creature from staring. The tour carries on, with the guide taking the Coterie past various sights and monsters, from the mundane and regular tattooed and bearded woman, and ending on the half-man, half-wolf, with every exotic sight in between. Finally, the tour comes to its conclusion, and the poorly dressed man stands by the exit. So now that you have seen the wondrous and monstrous sights the world has to offer, do you have questions for me, perhaps?
To see the mermaid.
Do
I
you
like where
enjoy
this might
keeping
go.
slaves, or
Slaves are not slaves, sir. We have liberated them from their poor existence. Here they are safe, for they are in danger in the wild, are they not? What do you think a sailor would try and do with that mermaid? Or the other way around, perhaps?
doesn't that make them in danger to each other? Which kind of cancels each other out, honestly. Wait, if they're dangerous to us in the wild, why don't you have any lions, tigers, or bears?
Oh my.
Oh my.
We're a freak show. What kind of horrible place would keep animals in cages? That's disgusting, sir.
What kind of place would do that?
I'm assuming the answer is no, but has any of the things we've seen uglier than me?
Just me.
Okay. I just kind of lean over to Alistair. I'm kind of disappointed if you ask me.
Now, this mermaid, is the top half human or fish?
Human.
Gotcha. Okay. Just trying to clarify what kind of mermaid it was.
Little clamshell bra.
You watch SpongeBob too much.
Does the mermaid communicate at all? Is it capable of writing?
Underwater?
I suppose. It's fascinating. Is it more beast or more man?
I'd say it's about half and half.
Fair.
Under my breath to Aldrich, I say, to deny a woman the chance to sing.
Do mermaids usually sing?
Called her a siren.
Ask. Or maybe sing. See if it responds.
It may appreciate the song.
Can I slip away from the group and go over to the mermaid?
Yeah, sure.
I will stick with her.
Okay.
I try to catch the eyes of the mermaid and quietly start singing.
Do for me charisma performance, please. And you do get the +1 modifier, of course.
You mean for singing?
Mm-hmm. The mermaid stares.
Mermaid?
She likes Marmite,
The
right?
mermaid?
The mermaid, she's staring into your eyes. You sing that song, and she's like, "Ah, it's a good song, see? Man, good song, good song." She stares into your eyes, enthralled by your beautiful voice. You yourself find yourself hypnotized by her gaze. You're unable to stop singing.
Okay.
The commotion catches the attention of the tour guide, who wanders over, slaps the glass case with his cane, and says, "Oh no. What did you do? You stared into her eye. She's going to be stuck like this for ages. You have to do the gentlemanly thing here, sir, and slap her to her senses."
Look at him. What do I want to do here? No, I think she's quite fine like this. Though if you would like
She'll
to,
stay like
by all
this.
means.
I'm afraid I can't. I hardly know the woman. It would be most unbecoming of a gentleman to slap her. Whereas a friend...
Oh, I'm sure she would
something
not mind
entirely
at
different.
all.
No, I've tried it before, trust me.
Get this guy killed?
Yeah. One down.
I lean over to Sir Drake. Do we like this guy?
Considering
I'll-
he
I'll-
keeps things in cages, no.
Hey, you should be nicer to her, and I cast Dementation.
Do a rouse check for me, please. And your dementation roll, please.
Come on, mouse. I'm gonna re-roll 3 of those.
Okay.
3.
The man turns to stare at you. Slightly bewildered look upon his face. And finally, he manages to muster enough resolve within inside of himself and say, "You need to move her along. She's going to stay here forever otherwise."
Understood. I'll look towards the rest. Are we any closer to finding the person we need to find? What are you guys doing? Do I need to do this?
I want to look around in this freak show tent to see if I can find anything aside from the mermaid, anything interesting. Maybe something left out.
I mean, define interesting in a freak show here.
That's a fair point. Anything that looks like it might belong to the owner or something like that. A schedule or something like that. Anything like that exists.
I'll let you have that for free. And upon closer investigation, you find nothing that seems to tie this tent to anything else, which in and of itself is very unusual.
To Alistair. Alistair, you are if anyone knows how to get in someone's head and rattle things about, it's you. Perhaps you can talk to Miss Evelyn here and get her
That's
less
not really how
fascinated
that
with
works.
this creature.
I don't talk to them through my mind.
You just have a way of talking to people in their heads. Well, you know.
Did the guy fuck
Or-
off? Hi, girls.
And you've also thrown a rock at Evelyn. So either way, whatever method you see is best, you seem most qualified to take care of this.
I slink up to this little powwow that's going on. I just go, "Oh, come on, let's just do this the easy way," and I'm gonna slap Evelyn.
Strength and brawl,
I take
please.
a step back, immediately distancing myself.
This is not gonna be a very high roll. Where's brawl at? Oh, it doesn't matter. I have 0 dots in brawl.
Here comes the crit.
Nope.
Would you like success at cost?
Yeah.
Okay. Thurston brings his bony, clawed hand up to bear and slaps Evelyn across her face as hard as he can, leaving a red mark upon her cheek. As he does so, the beast inside of him screams, telling him to carry on, to beat this woman to a complete pulp for her beauty, and his jealousy enthralls him. Fortunately, he is able to suppress the beast inside of him. But doing so, he does it at the cost of his own vitae. Increase your hunger by 1, please. Evelyn, you are no longer mesmerized, but you do feel a burning
slap Thurston
sensation on
back.
your cheek. Strength and brawl, please. Thurston, because you're not mesmerized or anything, would you like to dodge or just take it like a man?
No, I'm gonna.
You're
dodge.
pretty safe.
She has no authority in slapping me back.
Evelyn turns immediately to slap Thurston as hard as she can. But luckily, he sees the slap coming and dodges well out of the way, leaving Evelyn clawing at midair. And at this point, we'll take a break. So we shall be right back. Sir Drake was just saying how he's going to end up killing Thurston.
Accurate.
The Coterie, except Aldrich, have left the freak show tent. Aldrich remains in the freak show tent.
I'll turn to the was it tour guide?
Yeah.
Just look at him in the eyes for a moment. I need you to. I mean, you know who runs this place, correct? And it is not
Boss? No, I just run
you. You're
the
not
tent.
the boss.
No, just a tent.
You know where the boss is?
No.
Would you be able to find him?
No.
Why not?
Boss? I've never seen him. That's
How do you know who
strange,
they are?
because the freak show moves and we go with the freak show. Wouldn't just be directionless, would it?
Who is it that acquires the freaks that you find?
That's a funny story, because every time I set the tent up, it just seems to get bigger, and there are new things in there. Maybe they ran away to join the circus.
See, do you know anyone who does know the boss? Knows how to get a hold of the boss?
Dunno, I don't leave the freak show tent. Someone's got to keep these people safe, fed.
You've never left the tent?
Only when we move.
Interesting. Well, I need you to go through your tent. And the people there, are they like locked in these cages, or are they just in their little displays?
I mean,
They seem to be
the more dangerous ones will be behind cages or water-filled tanks. Others will just be sat upon a stage. Like, you don't have to worry about the bearded, tattooed lady, but the half-man, half-wolf, he's a bit of a problem.
Half man, half wolf, you say?
Well, there's one way to get the boss here. The boss wants this to be successful. For times. Actually, I'll wait. Thank you for your help. And then I will exit the tent with the rest.
Okay. The Coterie and Aldo walk out into the rest of the freak show's gathering, leaving before them the magician's tent and the fortune teller's tent. The fortune teller's tent is right next to them. The magician's tent is across the way and a bit of a further walk.
Well, I suppose we should go look at the fortune teller's tent.
I'll relay what I learned from the man that they don't even know who the boss is, and he's this mysterious type, and they just seem to acquire new freaks out of nowhere.
That is odd.
Aldo just kind of like sighs a little bit in the background.
Do you have any ideas, Aldo?
No, please go on, but let me know what you find in the fortune teller's tent.
Don't like competition?
It's not competition, my dear. I just don't like wasting my time.
I see.
The idea that cross... Oh, go ahead.
I believe I have a high-profile, last resort method of gaining the boss's attention should all other avenues fail, but let's proceed and try to do something more subtle first.
Was it the jailbreak of the freak show tent?
You read my mind.
Yeah, I was seconds away from doing it just in there, and I barely decided not to.
Oh, I'm going to anyway, just whether I do it before or after we find him, that depends.
Yes, I think our do not get any leads. I can have the tour guide in there. I can instruct him to begin releasing everyone.
Good idea.
Let's see if they find anything in these other tents before we resort to that. And yeah, so it's a fortune teller's tent.
Mm-hmm.
The Coterie enter into a small tent. On the back wall is a machine with what looks like a woman inside, sitting behind a crystal ball. A coin slot is clearly visible on the base of the machine, and an engraved banner runs along the base that reads, "Cross my hand with coin and ask me a yes or no question."
It's it? That's the fortune?
I wish I was big. Considering our present company, this is most uninspiring.
No, I just sort of shoot a quick glance to Waldo as I say, like, our present company.
Aldo just walks right up and says, I would love to have my fortune told, and pays it.
The machine clunks to life as jets of steam hiss out of the base. Loud clunks and clanks fill the tent as the machine's arms mimic a person's movement over the ball. A moment later, a small, folded piece of paper drops out of the base and lands gracefully on the floor.
You're going to be visited by a handsome stranger, probably.
No one picking it up?
Aldrich's on this with this shit.
I'll pick it up.
Okay.
Alistair reads the paper, and it says, "Beware the illusion of life."
I can read it. I don't understand it, and I hand it to somebody. I just hold it out. I don't care who takes it.
I'll grab it. And read it out loud. Beware the illusion of life. Feel called out.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. I don't know if it means us or itself.
Aldo just kind of smiles and softly says, "Oh, this is a true fortune. I'm so glad that all of you are finally able to find it."
Wait, do me next. Pay for me to do it, and I go up and look at Aldo and stand in front of the fortune teller. Waiting.
What are you asking the fortune teller?
I'm waiting to see if it gets paid for first.
All right.
I'm assuming Aldo's going to be like, no.
Aldo smiles softly and pays for it.
Do I ask this thing? I mean, is Aldo my friend? Just completely incorrect thing to ask a fortune teller.
Jets of steam, once more, hiss out of the machine as it clunks around. A piece of paper falls gracefully to the floor.
I pick it up and read it.
All portents and signs point to yes.
This a fucking liar.
Aw.
I put it to Aldo's chest and walk away.
Aldo smiles softly and looks over at Sir Drake and says, I paid for 2 fortunes. I believe that is both of the boons you wanted taken care of.
Oh, you little.
And you think I place my trust in cogs and tricks? You're more reliable than this thing.
It's still a fortune. I consider my boon done. Both of the boons you asked for are finished.
From far away, I say, technicality, you said you would tell us our fortune, our future, not the machine.
I said I would grant you a boon. And I paid for it, did I not technically do it on technicalities?
Let
Well,
this
if the
not
machine's
be
more useful.
those kindred who are around in technicalities and a lot. We're above that. I believe we're above this. Is there anything else of use in this place? Or should we see
I
the
walk up to the
magician
machine and look at Aldrich. Look at the coin slot.
I will put this coin in the slot. Slightly.
Oh, madam, whatever the name it says on the top of the machine. Where is the owner of this freak show?
Jets of steam hiss once more. Metal clanks and clunks as she mimics moving over a crystal ball, and a piece of paper falls slowly and gracefully to the floor.
Pick it up and read it.
No.
That's what it says, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hold it out just to everyone else.
Go ahead, Gray.
Gray would want to look around using Sense the Unseen to see if he can see anything unseen.
Do sense the unseen for me.
While he's doing that, Evelyn, my dear, I believe it said ask yes or no questions.
You attempt to sense the unseen, willing vitae to your eyes and mind. Unfortunately, you're unable to permeate whatever it is that is over the circus at this present time, and see nothing.
I kick the machine and call it a hussy.
The machine clanks and moves, and raises its right hand and does this gesture.
There's something off about that machine, I do believe.
Yeah, after the disappointing freak show, I wasn't expecting a fortune teller that actually works.
Want to open it up and look inside, or should we move on? I like this.
Well, I'll look around, a cursory look around just to see if I see anything of interest. If I don't, then I'll. No, okay. I don't really see anything that would help us in what we're looking for here. I think we should move along.
I'll trust the inspector's instincts on this one. Bloody useless.
So far, this place appears to be quite normal, although I get an unsettling feeling that that's not true. That's what I see.
What gave that away? The mass amnesia that the staff seem to have, or the mermaid?
Both, and the mechanical fortune teller that seems to be able to respond to spoken word.
It's all just coincidence.
And that hand gesture was coincidence?
Tricks and
Sure,
nonsense.
it's just exactly. It's just a programmed thing.
Give it 9 months, it'll have 64-bit floating point unit.
Well, if you're satisfied, there are trinkets here. Magician seems like the last place to go.
Great.
Yes.
Our way there.
The Coterie head into the magician's tent. A small crowd of relatively unimpressed kine watch the magician ply her trade as she performs mundane party tricks. The magician spots the Coterie as they enter, and winds up her act, asking the audience to leave, but says that she must put on a special show for the very important people that have just entered. The crowd leaves, almost eagerly, and leaves the magician with the Coterie. You aren't like the rest of the people here, I see. When it is just us, I can show you something real, such as whatever you perceive reality to be. And as soon as she says this, the benches slowly form into thorned chairs. As you can see, reality is more than just what you perceive it to be, and you aren't the first of your kind here. Perhaps I might guide you to where you wish to be?
Aldo is just kind of hanging back a little in the background, watching cautiously. He seems on edge.
Are we to consider that an invitation?
Yeah, I guess Aldo will go and sit down. He's still telling himself this is all clearly some sort of parlor trick.
Mm.
It's getting harder and harder to believe that.
Drake will do the same. Keeping his eye on the magician.
Evelyn would have sat down and all. So
Quite the impressive show. Gray would step close to one of the benches but not sit.
And so what it is that brings you all here tonight?
we seek the owner of this grand establishment.
The owner, I see. And perhaps why? What is it you seek of the owner of this establishment, this fine, upstanding freak show?
Business proposition?
And what business could your kind have with a freak show?
You haven't heard me sing.
Haven't I? What exactly is freakish about your singing?
I'll spare you for now.
As will I.
I'm curious if you can truly do these interesting things. Why use these gifts to run a place like this?
Such answers are beyond your perception to understand, I'm sure.
Try me.
What do you see before you here? A tent? Grass? Chairs?
All of the above.
And what if I were to tell you it was all that, and nothing, and everything, all at once?
I'd say you have a very grating way of explaining things and avoiding answering the question.
And you
Although
proved
clears
to
his
me
throat in the background.
that your perception is based purely on what you can see, hear, and feel. A very mundane way to perceive everything. And what of this individual with the frog in his throat?
Greetings, my name is Aldo, and I am most intrigued by your great powers. I thought maybe we might share some knowledge at some point. I seek to expand my understanding of the occult.
There is nothing occult about any of this. And what knowledge do you think you could bring me that I don't already have?
Forgive me. I did not mean to offend by your powers, and the knowledge should be knowledge I do not know yet myself, but perhaps we might come to an agreement at some point.
Well, those two are talking. I sort of want to lean into the rest of the coder and say, do let me know if you see any items of interest. Something glass, perhaps.
Gray would want to use Sense the Unseen and look around. Particularly, he'd want to look at those benches and also look at the magician as well.
Roll Sense the Unseen, please.
And I think I will also Blood Surge. Wait, did I? Hold on. I don't know if it gave me my bonus dice. Let me try that again.
No, you have to add it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll add 2 bonus dice.
Not
Then.
fiery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me roll 2 dice. Okay, so that's 4 successes.
I'm going to give it to you. As you will the vitae to your eyes and mind, you notice something extremely new. And then the tent seems to burn away. The insides are replaced with the insides of a large caravan. Cushions, stools, and cupboards surround the coterie out of nowhere. Horseshoes and fire pokers hang from the walls, and the magician, no longer dressed in a formal black suit, stands before them in a long, flowing, tight-fitting black dress. As the coterie eye her, from her shoes up, they notice fleshy spikes protruding from her forearms, and carved shapes that look similar to gills at the base of each spike. Her neck seems strangely long, but immediately the coterie notice her jaw is filled with sharpened teeth, and instead of hair, it seems she has long pieces of flesh jutting down in many strands, hiding half of her face, but underneath the flesh hair they can see the shimmer of metal. If the visage wasn't so disturbing, she'd seem almost intoxicating. And she casts entrancement on Aldrich.
Aldrich gives a slight smile, and then just continues standing there watching.
Aldrich or Aldo?
Aldrich.
Oh, my bad.
And so, charisma
Try taking
and
one for
wits,
me.
please.
It's composure and wits.
Ooh.
Composure and wits, please.
I could get that if I roll perfectly.
That was a good roll too.
Yeah, I was just like, could blood surge? Someone defeated it.
Aldrich is completely entranced by this visage of terrifying beauty before him.
Yeah, you would just see his very tense demeanor just suddenly soften, and he's just now just gazing upon this person.
The moment I see Aldrich's posture soften, the blade comes out and I'm targeting the thing's throat.
In that moment, she raises her hand, flicks her wrist, and Aldo is engulfed in flame and falls as a pile of ash to the floor.
I look over and say, "Oh, I get it now." Huh.
That wouldn't have stopped me committing to the attack.
Okay. You going in for the actual attack? Oh yeah, I should also say that before Aldo fell to the floor in a pile of ash, he gave everyone a small smile.
Okay.
Told you I could tell the future.
Yeah. Still doing it.
Strength and melee, please.
Four swords.
The creature is unable to move, and you strike it straight into its neck with your sword. And you do, let me see, +3, let's see.
Don't forget sword damage too.
Yeah, 5 superficial damage upon the creature, who is completely unfazed.
Look, sort of nod over to Aldrich, then. Release him now.
Aldrich would have stood in a threatening manner as soon as you attacked this person, who is currently the object of all. Yeah, stood up and just began rolling just one sleeve up. I think you forget yourself.
You said that to Drake?
Yes.
Okay. Drake will put the sword blade back in. I've been wondering when this would happen. And clean the blade off and put it back in. Alright. So crack. Crack like this. If that's what you want to do.
Now, lovelies, I do think that we shouldn't resort immediately to attacking each other, as much as I know we might want to. Surely there's a way to do this diplomatically.
I feel like I've heard the phrase for a day late and a dollar short. That's it.
Yes, we were just letting her speak. What is it you wanted of us? Just say the words and it is yours.
Kill them.
Oh.
As soon as she says that, I will go, whoa, whoa,
What'd she
whoa,
say?
whoa.
Kill them.
Oh, okay.
That's not nice. Aldrich, snap out of it, and I'll cast Cloud Memory. See if it works.
Cast Charisma and Dominate. Aldrich, Wits and Resolve.
feel like that's wrong. Go to burn. Go to reroll. Or does that go to me since I'm the one doing it?
I'd give it to you as the aggressor, yeah.
I'll keep it.
Fudging it a bit there, but it's good enough. So, Aldrich, you will have forgotten the past few minutes, and you're going to descend into your clan compulsion. I feel this is appropriate. The need to rule. No. You become obsessed with possessing something in the scene, desiring to add it to your proverbial hoard. This can be anything from an object to a piece of property to an actual person, and it's going to be the mysterious magician. Any action not taken toward this purpose incurs a 2 dice penalty. This persists until ownership has been established, or the object of desire becomes unattainable.
Is he entranced still?
No, he has forgotten being entranced.
Oh, okay.
Because that changes a little bit there. So.
I mean, we're
But in a
fudging
way,
it
now
bit
he's
there.
still entranced.
I feel we're fudging it a bit there, but it gives you a better chance.
But he's not trying to kill everybody right now.
No.
I gotta keep switching my brain wavelengths to do some mental gymnastics. See where I'm at now. Okay, so essentially, I've walked in. Everything's sort of gone fuzzy. Probably forgetting for a moment what I'm even doing here, but then just look up, see this individual, and decide I need this person. Is that roughly?
Pretty much. You want to own and possess this person for whatever reason you see fit. Probably because they're absolutely horrifically gorgeous.
We're still in this caravan now.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a change in Aldrich's demeanour.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it'd be a pretty dramatic.
Cool.
Probably just doing a slow turn. Still that tension they probably had a second ago, defending this person, but now directing it towards that person. Well, I want to remember that.
Are we now saving my beating you into a paste for another time?
I directed that to Aldrich. Right.
Doesn't make sense. Aldrich, he just sort of looks confused at you for a second, and then back to this person. And as soon as their sort of gaze hits the person, he's just going to reach out and grab them sort of by the face and throat with his good hand.
Take that as a yes.
Trying to just sort of cover the lower, the mouth, the jaw, the neck a little bit, just so I can have the eyes, but also probably being quite forceful about it.
Okay.
Do you need me to roll anything?
Strength and brawl, please. Yeah, strength and brawl. I'm going to count that as a grapple, basically. So you probably get +1 per grapple, don't you?
That was my intention. Yeah. Yes. Housing.
Gain hunger.
Yeah, let's willpower. 6 success.
You will successfully grapple the creature, holding it down by the face.
Yes, when a grapple starts squeezing a little bit, just look, I put my eye close to theirs, and I I want to use Mesmerize. Show me where your artifact is, and surrender it to me. Then you will be letting us go.
Show me Mesmerize.
Well, this will be Mesmerize with Submerge Directive. So which would you like to see?
Show me both. Okay, so do the rouse check for me, please. And do manipulation and dominate. And intelligence. I'm going to reroll 3. Well, that's going to go to Aldrich. So what were the instructions?
Surrender the artifact, and then it's gonna be surrender the artifact, and then you will be leaving with us.
Okay. The creature reaches up to its head, pulling from underneath its hair, fleshy that it is, and presents you with a monocle. I assume you let it go after it, because how else are you going to hold it?
Mm-hmm.
And the creature
I'll
then casts...
take the monocle first, and then...
The creature then casts Majesty. So, Aldrich.
Have to leave with us first, or is it doing this mid?
It's doing this mid.
Destruction. All right. We're rolling against it.
Yep. You will be rolling charisma. No. Composure and resolve.
Composure resolve.
Okay.
All of us?
Yeah.
I bet she's got like 9 dice.
Yeah, but
I'm going to reroll 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was composure and resolve, right?
Yeah. You have to beat 6.
Both of...
can we blood search for that?
Mm-hmm.
I did. I'm gonna willpower.
I'm going to blood search for that.
Yeah, same.
And does that add 2 dice?
Yes.
Blood potency 1 is 2 dice, yeah. First, and I'll let you reroll if you want, because there's at least 2 rerolls on the table.
Composure resolve, sorry.
Yeah.
I will reroll 2 die.
Hooray! I got rid of the beast. Still fail.
Are you joking?
Was it only him that can reroll, or can any of us use a willpower reroll?
There's one more reroll available if you want it.
Can I take that?
Yeah, you stand the best chance of saving it.
Yeah. You take that. I'll use a willpower reroll.
Okay.
So I'm at 6.
Even with a willpower reroll, I can't win, so I'll leave it.
So you will fail.
Mm-hmm.
I can only stare or a virtual gaze from her.
You said that she's like horrifically beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Which
I'm
type of
staring at
what's she using? Because doesn't they choose like whether they're? I guess it could be a little bit of everything.
I'm staring.
The perception is entirely up to you what you see. I merely described what Aldrich sees and envisages as beautiful. So maybe Alistair sees a puppy, Eveline some chiseled exotic man, Inspector Grey, Inezka, Thurston, generic beautiful woman, and Sir Drake sees a really nice sword.
Yeah, this the handle just drop, and he's just staring awestruck. I guess all of us are.
Now, what brings you
Stare.
here? You wish for my monocle? Why?
Just a question before we carry on.
Yes, darling.
Am I actually... Are the re-rolls from the chat... Oh, you've got to take the new one, or are they like willpower re-rolls where you add them up with the previous successes?
They're an entirely new roll.
Gotcha. Okay, no, that's fair enough then.
We were instructed to do so by a look around for Aldo, who I don't remember getting burnt to a crisp. And our friend.
I just point to the pile of ash.
I'm looking away. I told you what happened.
And for what purpose brings you here?
We were doing a favor for him, so he would do a favor for us.
What gave you the impression I was here?
He did.
Did he say how or what actions?
You were killing our kind.
Okay, so here's what she's going to do. First of all, she's going to cast Cloud Memory and Rationalize. I think it's fair to say, at least subconsciously, you can all resist. So, wits and resolve.
So we all need to do a wits and resolve?
Yep.
Cool.
I'd like to blood surge again.
Okay. That's probably wise. Well, these rouse checks going up now.
Ooh, I don't know if I want a blood surge or not.
I'm not going.
I'm at 4 hunger.
Risk it.
I could reroll one. die.
Well, I blood surged, but I'm gonna be hungry.
Oh, Alistair's fine.
Tidy.
Messy,
We
but fine.
have to beat 6.
I don't.
I'm gonna
care
reroll
in
one
this instance.
Alistair, you're going to suffer from your clan compulsion. Your extrasensory gifts run wild.
Oh.
You experience what might be truths or portents, but what others call figments of the imagination, dredged up by hunger. While still functional, your mind and perceptions are skewed. You receive a 2-dice penalty to rolls involving dexterity, manipulation, composure, and wits, as well as rolls to resist terror frenzy for this scene. Inspector
So-
Ray. Oh,
Convenient.
Yes. Hold on. I have the beast and hunger frenzy. Just FYI.
That's going to go really.
Did you
really
go
well.
past? Did you get at 5
Well,
hunger, or did you go past
I'm
5
at
hunger?
I'm at 5 hunger.
You're not a hunger frenzy yet. Every rouse check
Oh.
once you're at 5 hunger is a hunger frenzy check.
Okay.
So
Oh,
5's your
Well,
so-
you
max.
say that, but normally true. But he's Banu Hakim. Inspector Grey is compelled to punish anyone seen to transgress against their personal creed. Taking their blood is just vengeance for the crime. For one seen, Inspector Grey must slake at least 1 hunger from anyone, friend or foe, that acts against a conviction of his. Failing to do so results in a 3 dice penalty to all rolls until the compulsion is satisfied or the scene ends. If the one fed from is also a vampire, you will also have to do a hunger frenzy test.
Okay.
Everyone who passed that, so that's Alistair, on his own,
I only got one.
who is also suffering from his clan compulsion, is unaffected by cloud memory and rationalize. In this horrible kerfuffle, the she is going to cast Vanish.
How did you pronounce her name?
She.
Okay.
It's Welsh.
No, it looks a lot like Cedra did.
She
I
is going to
couldn't
cast
remember.
Vanish.
Yeah.
I was just amazed to hear it pronounced for the first
I
time.
just
Yeah,
go
well-
pick up the fucking rug and start talking to it. I don't know. I mean, I have a 2 dice penalty to basically all social rolls. I'm a little bit crazy right now. So
And
you all aren't aware that I know she vanished or what happened.
We don't know she was ever there.
I was
So, I'm good. I'm alone in my own little world. This is great.
Perfect
I was-
person.
Can the rest of us see the caravan? Or are we back inside the magician's tent?
It's still a caravan.
I was gonna try to feed off of her for
Ha!
killing a member of our party, but now I don't know she was here and she's gone. So who would I feed off of?
The chaos
Are we
What are your
back in
convictions?
like the carnival now?
No, he's
No, we're
still
still
in
in
the
the
caravan.
caravan.
Oh. Yeah.
For whatever
I
it's
can-
worth, you can't even hear the carnival outside. And if anyone looks out the window, you just see a massive field, empty.
I know. I was thinking if you have to feed off of us, or if you're at a penalty if you do anything but feeding. I remember I was worded.
I thought you had to, and it was a penalty if you fail.
He does if anybody goes against him.
Yeah.
So like
Let you ever read it again. Like, yeah, you've got your personal values. So if you're like, go that way, and they're like, no, you could be like, fuck you, I'll eat you.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same as necessarily a hunger frenzy where you're just like, okay, I need
Yeah.
to eat.
Yeah.
If he
The minute one of us fucks up.
if he feeds on a vampire, and there's only vampires left, and he needs to feed on someone who's broken his conviction, then his clanbane kicks in, which is slaking at least 1 hunger level with vampiric vitae provokes a hunger frenzy at
Got it.
difficulty 2 plus bane severity. If the test
Okay,
is
so you don't
failed,
necessarily have to eat one of us right now, unless you feel one of us has broken your personal conviction.
true.
Maybe we have. Maybe your personal convictions. So yeah, we're just standing around this caravan now, just having no idea. What's the last thing you remember then?
Yeah,
how,
that's a good question.
Walking
how much does this cloud memory affect?
You will probably remember walking into the magician's tent, and that's it. Now you're in a caravan.
Aldrich's gonna step out of the caravan then.
And Alistair is literally talking to a rug. Normal.
Yeah.
I need something to eat immediately. And where the hell is the magician? Where is the tent? How did we get here?
Check out there.
Yeah, do I step out? Does that happen?
Yep. You step out
I
into
have
an
not
empty
stepped
field.
out.
Look around. It seems all of us were affected by something. I don't remember getting in a caravan. Last thing I remember was going into a magician's tent.
Do we remember the magician, obviously,
You remember catching sight of the magician performing for a very bored
Yeah.
crowd.
Yeah, like just before we started talking. So that's fair enough. Well, I think it's safe to say we found the first thing in this blasted place that wasn't a gimmick.
This
I
must be
peer
the
out.
owner's caravan, and I start rummaging through things looking for the artifact.
Where's Aldo?
I peer out from the thing. Guys, that lady was boring as hell, but this rug is hilarious, and I go back in.
Eveline. Intelligence investigation, please. You find nothing of particular interest, although you do find a particularly large coin purse and pocket it for your own gain. The amount of ash on the floor makes you highly suspicious.
Well,
it's
was
not-
he wearing anything? Wouldn't his cloak be laying there?
Yeah. Eveline
I'll
taps the
start,
cloak with her foot and carries off, holding her lightsaber towards the interlopers upon the death's way.
I'm gonna start clicking my fingers towards Alistair. Moonbrain, what woman?
Oh, the fancy magic lady. And then I go back to talking to the thing.
Crowd did look bored.
No crowd.
Guys?
Alistair, do you
think
remember what
This
happened?
might be Aldo.
Alistair is saying he remembers. Please enlighten the rest of us.
You don't
Is
remember?
this Aldo?
No, I do not. Does anyone else?
I will tell you in puppet form, and I'll go find a fucking sock or something.
It's worth it.
Is this Aldo?
And I get the sock, and I go down, and the sock looks, and then looks up at Eveline. Yep.
Gray would approach. Who did this? Who is guilty of destroying Aldo?
Next time we get payment first.
I kind of sneak around, and I go up next to Inspector Gray, and I come up next to him. The magician.
Where is this magician?
Where's the magician? I don't. She disappeared.
Like as part of an act?
How did we get from the magician's tent to here?
What do you mean?
I remember walking into a tent, a crowded carnival thing, and now we're in the middle of a field in a caravan.
I don't remember. I know.
Has the entire carnival disappeared?
I look outside. Oh my god, it has.
Gray just like grits his teeth.
Is this caravan, are there like horses attached to it? Is it pulled by anything?
Nope. Set in place.
Let's begin walking.
You can see the train that you arrived in is still parked up.
How long
Station
has it been? Is it still the same night?
So it would have to be. We would not have survived out here during the day.
Oh, these haven't been invented yet.
I know. So I was like, it'd be a pocket watch, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be a pocket watch.
Pocket watch.
Well, I tell you what, you and Thurston to thank me though. You two, you all stare at shit too much. I don't know what it was, but I still got the sock, and I'm like talking to you with it. But you fell in love with the magician, and then you turned and you almost fought him. And I point to Sir Drake, and then I made you stop. Then what happened? What happened? Glasses. Oh yeah, she pulled out a monocle, and when you took it, then things went crazy.
We found the item, and then she did something to our brains. And then you watched, she simply vanished? You watched her just disappear?
I grab the sock by its socky neck and talk directly to the sock. Where did she go?
Oh, don't encourage him.
Keep in mind, Daughters of Cacophony are a little bit mouthy.
Oh, I'm naked.
Weird. Yeah, she's just real slow. She disappeared.
Gray's going to storm
Like a
back
magic
in.
trick?
Oh, sorry.
That's it.
Yeah, but like kind of like I do, but I could see it. She's not shy.
Gray's going to storm back into the wagon and look around for blood and see if he sees any blood.
Don't step on Aldo. She turned him to ash with a flick of her wrist.
Would you prefer wits and
Happened
awareness
to him.
or intelligence and investigation?
Wits and awareness.
Okay, do wits and awareness for me, please. Perfect. You find the smallest drop of extremely crimson vitae upon the floor.
I'm going to try to take a sample of that blood, and like I guess like in a vial or a handkerchief or something. And when I have that, I'll go back out to the Coterie. It's like, I found this blood. We need to track down this magician and punish her. She killed Aldo. This is her blood. We have to find her.
Yeah, that's her blood. That's when shit went sideways. He stabbed her. I point to Sir Drake.
Yep, that sounds like me. I'm with you on this one, Inspector. Lead the way.
Tell me, how do you think things will go differently this time around, though?
Well,
Seems like we already had our came to blows with her. Arguably the most powerful among us was. How did she turn him to ash?
She did that.
Sounds to me we're outmatched.
I mean, it was his idea. Point back to the carriage.
Yes, this is
I have
not
a
something I
question. That's the
would die for.
So you're saying this magician did that to Aldo?
Yes. Not in the order I said it. I think I had it. That was like the first thing that happened. She made you like her, and then disappeared. No, she turned Aldo to ash. And then you two were going to fight. And I told you to snap out of it. I shouldn't have, though. That would have been fun. And then
If we were to believe Alistair, yes, she can control our minds. She can. Oh, go ahead.
you convinced her to show us the thing so we know what it is.
I did. How did I do that?
I don't know. You just told her. You said, show me the thing and you're coming with us. And then she showed it. And when you grabbed for it, that's when shit kind of got fuzzy. She did this thing, like I couldn't even look at her. And then next thing I know, the rug starts talking and she just disappears. It was
You stabbed her. I dominated her. Here we are.
My question
other-
is, if you were able to incinerate Aldo on the spot.
Yeah, why didn't she do it to the rest of us? I know.
Exactly.
Did we say anything to her?
Like, did he say anything to her?
It
Was
sounds
there
as
any
if
discussion?
sounds as if I gave her enough reason to incinerate us, but she didn't.
Oh, she asked why we came for the thing. You told her.
Yeah.
I told her it was because of Aldo. Perhaps she had already killed the person looking to bother her. And if it wasn't for our friend Alistair here, we wouldn't have remembered any of that. So she, I guess, didn't need to kill us all.
That's twice now I've had to pull both of you away from staring at relatively weird looking thing. I look at Thurston. You're welcome.
So, Inspector, we can pursue. I don't even know if we can find her. She simply vanished. But if we did, sounds like we would then be giving her a reason to destroy us.
Question. Aldo said that the Camarilla was the one that originally sent us here, and he was just trying to help us look for that. So, would there be anybody we could tell about this that wouldn't think we were crazy?
Depends
I mean-
on if he was lying or not. I have a feeling he was.
So, do we go talk to the Primogen first?
We should.
I do not have the ability to track her down based on her blood. We should take this blood to the Tremere, and let them know what happened to Aldo. Even if we have no means to enact justice now, the inevitability of her guilt and having justice be served will be inevitable.
Wait, you're saying take this to the Tremere Primogen?
Screwed.
It's a brilliant
Do you-
idea. I don't know why I didn't come up with it.
Regardless, before we do anything, I am going to eat. And I believe Gray would probably start heading off unless someone stops him.
Shiv, that bottle I got last game,
Yes.
that was just there wasn't anything with it that seemed it was just like a snack, right? There was no note saying it was something special or anything.
No.
Okay. I would go up to the inspector, having noticed that he's talking a bit more angrily than normal, and kind of just pull the bottle out and put it in his hands, just pat him on his back. Here, you might need this. You're not you when you're hungry.
Gray would immediately open it and he would quaff the bottle.
You have a level 1 blood bond to Clara now, Inspector Gray.
Haha. I didn't feel
Wonderful.
like that was gonna happen.
Oh, actually, let me check
No take
what
backsies.
flaws.
Nope,
No,
I don't
that's
wanna
fine.
take
I need to.
Now
check
he might have
my
a stronger blood bond?
flaws. Shiv, I think it's
awesome.
important to note that I have the flaw of long bond.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Wonderful.
I have this too.
Oh, Thurston, what did you do?
Oh, what did I just do? I love it.
Jesus.
I wasn't sure. I knew I
Making
picked a
interesting.
bond-related flaw. I wasn't sure if it was the one where the bonds were stronger or longer. But there we go.
One dot is 3 months instead of one.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a while.
But
You know
may
what?
slay
Let's hunt her
200.
down. We need to burn half this group
Okay.
and then start over.
You know the greatest bit about the fact that he's extra bonded to her now is that if I were to drink it, I have the unbondable trait. So it wouldn't have affected me at all.
Thank you, Thurston. I quite needed that. That blood was surprisingly delicious. It's wonderful. Thank you.
No problem.
Well, if we're all good then, why do we need to take this to the Tremere, though? The Tremere is what's got us into this mess.
Indeed, I feel like whatever this thing was, we might be able to use it as some kind of bargaining chip.
We should tell this to our shadow, our handler.
Also, their elder's ash right now. Like, they're gonna find out he's gone.
No, yeah, we're going to tell the Camarilla what happened. I don't necessarily want to go to Bainbridge and report what happened. Let's get along
I
with
don't
him
really
very
want to
well.
go to anybody.
I mean, certainly if you'd like to
Can
handle
tell
it
the rug what
differently-
happened.
No, the rug doesn't care about that. It was there the whole time. It saw everything.
Certainly, if you'd like to handle things differently, I won't object. The main thing I care about is seeking justice for Aldo. True, I don't like Clan Tremere, but he was assisting us, we were assisting him, and he was killed by this creature. I want justice. The Tremere blood mages, they may be able to track this magician by its blood. I have no qualms about informing the Camarilla first, or if the Camarilla want to track this or handle this another way. I just felt since he is of Clan Tremere, perhaps we should notify them of their loss.
There are no other kindred who could do this?
Sure there are. My clan dabbles in blood magic as well. I
It
just
seems like a better fit for this vendetta then.
Yes.
Indeed,
I'm just,
the Tremere seemed like they were quite quick to hold things over our head the last time we spoke. I wouldn't mind having something over theirs.
Yes, they used their abilities on us as they saw fit to manipulate our minds to do their bidding. Let's take this to the Camarilla. I'm interested to find out if this even was sanctioned. I have my doubts. We shall see. But of course, let's just tell the Camarilla what happened. Hope we do not get in trouble for it. Take it from there.
Oh,
Then-
hold on 1 second. I do a long run back to the thing, and I grab the rug. I'm taking it home with me.
That rug's where it all went down. That's proof.
It's
And
going
it ties the room together.
It's going in my place now. Right, it got
think-
trashed once. I got to redecorate.
I think before we leave, we should probably scoop up those ashes too.
Yes.
Probably just rolled it all up in the rug and came out. I got
What is
Aldo
this group's
too.
obsession with ashes? Last
I
ever
thought
game
about
we did
doing that, but
Like,
we
I don't have a hat to put it in this time.
Yeah.
So we
us
can
having ashes is proof that we were there and involved, and I just see some asshole trying to make it a problem of ours if we show up with the ashes. If there's some use for it, perhaps.
Ooh, I could get a real pretty vase and put them inside it.
very well.
It could be proof
Pause.
that he died. And if he is as old and is as powerful as he says he is, that should hopefully be good evidence that we did not do it. We were likely be incapable of doing that. I will leave that. The ashes up to you, whether you wish to take them or not.
Well, I suppose if you don't think it's necessary for us to bring the ashes for his clan to receive closure, then I guess it's not important.
Could be a kind gesture. This is true.
I
They're assholes,
I-
and I'm not interested in kind gestures.
I think proving our innocence in this regard, the Tremere's own ego will probably work in our favor. They will not believe a group such as us would have been able to dispatch with Aldo.
This is true. I'll just take the ashes then. Also, this caravan will probably be gone by the time anyone checks on it.
Indeed.
Yes, I did. I don't like losing. Well, leave no man behind, I suppose, even if he was Tremere.
Pat you on the back.
Find it,
You did good.
bit of irony in the fact that Aldo spent so much time warning us that our actions would get us in trouble with more powerful beings, and then maybe it was his own fate he was seeing and not realizing it. Didn't see that twit coming for all of his powers.
Mm.
But you know who did? Look at Alistair. You're onto something, my friend. And then, just head towards the train.
Yeah, same here.
Mhm.
Okie dokie. Anything you wish to discuss on Choo Choo Ride?
Yeah, I'm just pestering Alistair. Because he said that I wouldn't stop staring at whatever the magician looked like. And I don't remember what she looked like, so I'm just.
No, I was more
pestering him.
referring to the painting that you would stop looking at.
I know, but the way you said that I couldn't, like, I kept.
He wants
just
to know
keep
about the
going.
pretty woman.
Yeah, I just keep pestering about, like, what she look like. What do you mean? What she look like?
You ever seen Blood on Snow?
Sure.
Yeah, like that kind of like horrifically beautiful. Like red on white, but then you realize it's blood on snow, and you're like, oh, ooh, ah, no, ooh, yeah. Pretty. Something happened.
Like a carrier bag in the wind.
They come dressed up like a Tenenbaum.
The train comes to a stop back in Marylebone. The Coterie exit out onto the streets of London. They find their carriage waiting for them by the platform. Where would you like to go?
Elysium.
Yeah.
The Coterie head in relative silence in their horse and carriage to the main Elysium of London. Exit out and head into the main floor. They see various kindred, all in their social groups. Pandora sat on her own, sipping from a glass of presumably vitae. And their shadow, Dirk.
Started from the bottom, now he's here.
Do we know what happened to Pandora's magician?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll ask Dirk if he can take a moment to speak with us.
Very well. Please, sit.
We sit.
Am I out of my compulsion?
Yes. New scene. New scene, who dat?
I'm not, though.
Can sure.
assumed I was because I don't even remember the object of my.
Oh yes,
Desire.
because it became unattainable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll sit now. Were you aware of a request to seek someone who is destroying our kind? Someone with an artifact and who operated in a freak show? We were approached by Aldo, the Tremere. Said it was a Camarilla mission we were tasked to do.
I'm aware of the freak show and the danger it presented. I know the Tremere took a particular interest in the artifact for themselves, and it was agreed upon that they were the best suited to store it. Why?
So we went with Aldo, the Tremere in question, and to retrieve the artifact, and Aldo was killed in the process. The artifact remains at large. I believe we are very much outmatched for something such as this. We ran into, I'll look towards Alistair, then realize we don't need a sock puppet explanation. I guess you just describe it as a magician. We're not sure. Maybe a kindred? No, I did not. Oh, Alistair, I will need your help with this. It did not. It was not a kindred, correct? She was.
I don't know. She could do things we could do, but was way more powerful. Like, she dominated him and then literally flicked her wrist and Aldo turned to ashes.
But you failed
And she
to
erased all of
acquire-
our memories. Yes, we failed to acquire.
But you lost
Wiped
a
all of our
Tremere,
memories.
Well,
Elder. Not an entirely unsuccessful night, then, at least.
We would
See it that way.
Gray would pull out the jar of ashes and the vial of blood.
Charming.
This is the ashes of the Tremere Elder, and this vial of blood, I suspect, was the blood from the wounded magician before it got away.
I see. Would you like
She
me
was
to return
stabbed.
the ashes?
If you like, or if you'd like us to, we can.
I think it would be best if someone slightly more important than you were to deliver the news. Plus, I would love to see their faces.
Whew, thank God. That was right on my shoulder.
Very well. Then allow it to be your pleasure to return the ashes.
As for this sample of vitae, it is useless to me. I don't trust the Tremere and their vile sorcery and backstabbing to have it either. Keep it safe or dispose of it. It matters not.
I'll keep it safe for the time being, and Gray would take back the vial.
She's real good at math.
Is there no one who can test the blood to see if it's kindred or kind?
Various people are able to. Unfortunately, it is mostly Tremere. And as I say, I wouldn't trust them with this. Far
Got a good
easier
point. They
we
could
all
say it's
forget
fine.
it exists. I'm sorry, Alistair. Please carry on.
No, you're much smarter than me. I'm just rattling off at the mouth. Sorry. I've had a night.
As you wish.
There's no way that magician could have been kind. It was too powerful. But from what I remember when we walked into the tent, she appeared much like a normal human. I don't know why. What she was beyond me.
Well, we also were under the visage of there being an entire circus, and it then vanished, so...
A mistress of illusion.
True.
Very much so.
Perhaps a mage, or worse. Either way, I am
Perhaps.
pleased that you have come out with your unlives intact, and even more pleased that Tremere did not.
You're still
This
one
is
of us, you know.
Barely.
Certainly, but still.
Perhaps in time you will learn of their treachery, and then you won't be so forgiving.
Hmm. Next time we bump into this thing, I'm going to finish the fucking job. Drake's just going to sit back.
Wish you the best of luck with that.
I'm more infatuated with what this thing could have been, as you say, a mage or something worse. What kind of things are there?
You'll find the stuff of legend and biblical prophecy is far more real in these nights than you take when you are simply kind.
Like, it's better when there is just humans and us, the monsters. Feeling less and less on top of the food chain.
Do not fear, for the mortals hide with a veil of mystery behind their eyes, and do not see us pulling the strings of society, taking it where we wish it to go. We are the masters of this world. Everything else is merely on the outskirts. We control the kind, and thus the direction of everyone.
It does make me feel better.
In time, you will learn to master the manipulation of the world around you. It's a good thing you have an eternity to learn to do so.
Well, thank you for your inspiring words, and I hope you enjoyed delivering the news to your Tremere companions.
Oh, I shall. Thank you kindly.
If there's nothing else,
I have nothing for you this night. I'd recommend some haste getting to your havens at some point. Dawn approaches.
I need to feed here and then be on my way.
Don't feed
As
here.
you wish.
Why?
Because we have our own to feed on. We have our own prey, our own herds.
Would we have time to stop by our place?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if we have time, then it is a good idea. Perhaps just what we need after an evening such as this. If you'd like to join me?
That would be
So
lovely.
So Drake needs to feed as well.
Yeah, Gray would
Join
definitely
us.
be feeding.
Which establishment of Aldrich's are you heading to?
We'll head to... So we go to Evelyn's.
The spa.
Mhm.
The spa. The spa. Spa.
Most spas don't shove a red-hot iron poker up your jacksie, but, you know, each to their own.
Ask for it. It's relaxing to some people. Gonna fault
Coterie.
those who need relaxation in alternative ways.
The Coterie head to the steam room, and already the screams of kine can be heard in the distance as they approach. They enter inside and are guided into the VIP room, reserved only for Aldrich and his guests.
I scream.
This place is more her establishment, so I'll let her direct us, order what she wants, and be the boss of the place.
Is everyone there?
I guess.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, if anyone else needed to feed, they're welcome to, but otherwise, more or less calling it a night, going to feed.
I wasn't going to, but, when in Rome.
Same. I will feed, though. Either at the Elysium or here, either way, it doesn't matter.
Have takeout, why not?
We don't need to be embarrassed at Elysium again. Sure. Boy. Please, we need 6 of our most luxurious servants. Preferably a strapping young man. I look at Thurston. Beautiful young lady.
Oh, you're ever so gracious.
Right you are, miss, but you did give specific instructions not to have anyone more beautiful than you in the establishment.
The beautiful young lady, second to me.
The one with a limp wrist, got it.
Gives him this look as he walks out.
She has
Should
most
fire
of her
him.
teeth. Anything you wish to discuss in the few moments you have before dinner is served? No. Then moments later, a procession of strapping young lads and ladies are brought into the room. They're eager to please and sit upon everybody's lap. Even Thurston, who has a particularly interesting, cackling young woman upon his lap.
I'm imagining whatever the vampire version is of everyone taking a shot at the same time.
I would fake it. Instead, I would talk with her and look for any markings that may identify her because I'm stalking my next.
Wits and awareness for me, please, Alistair. Would you like success at pass?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to give you a really bad cost, I'm afraid. Bollocks to you. Alistair
Okay.
stares upon the woman.
Worse
And
than
note-
two humanity things.
Yeah. And notices a birthmark upon her chest. As he does so, the beast inside of him screams once more, although he is unsure if it is his undead supernatural beast or merely the twisted craving inside of him. He bares his fangs, and without even a second thought sinks them into the flesh of the woman, draining her dry and killing her. Take another 2
Nice.
humanity stains, and slate
Is this
5
in the
hunger.
same room as the rest of us?
Yep.
Would it be obvious that he's drinking too much?
Yep.
Possible Aldrich would stop him.
I'm going to say you're all too busy enjoying your own drinks, and he's possessed by the beast too much to be able to be stopped. It's like that point of climax where you're told to pull out, but it's like a rage of stampeding mustangs coming at you. Nothing is going to stop. It's just...
Jesus.
I suppose Gray would
Can't
wait
relate.
I suppose Gray would wait for one of the partiers to start to get a little tired and pass out, then he'd feed.
Do your feeding roll for me, please, Inspector Gray. What do you mean, why does that example?
But I hope if I sang a lullaby.
Every male here is like, I get that. Inspector Gray, you may slake 2 hunger.
Thank you.
Eveline.
Play with my prey a little bit first before I drink.
Okay. Are you after,
Seduction. Is he on high on opium? Kind of a thing.
Yeah. You would have made sure
Okay.
he was. If he
Not that it
wasn't
really
already.
matters in this case, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I figured we went here instead of Elysium.
Yeah, I figure anyone's here is probably going to be high.
Wonderful, you may slake 2 hunger. Holdrick? Oh, Thurston, okay.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, Miss Hart's mentioned earlier, imagining it like a bunch of people taking a shot. Thurston's having a pretty girl be nice to him for the first time in however long he's been embraced.
Whoa,
He's
whoa, whoa.
savoring this.
No one said she was pretty.
She doesn't look like him.
Fair.
So yeah, he's savoring this moment for as long as he can.
Okay. Not going to feed?
Yeah, I'll feed.
Okay. Do your
God, it's
principal
gonna
roll
suck
for me,
if I kill her.
please?
This is why I can't have nice.
Holdrick, you
Actually,
may
Don't
already
kill
rolled.
our staff.
You got me right at that spot. when you
Lose,
tried
like,
to interrupt
once a
me, but
night.
like you said, the Mustangs came and I clicked and my roll went.
Oh. Can't afford to lose more than 1 staff a night.
Oh man. No, you know what? This is on brand. I'm keeping it.
Like Thurston's one we'd be paying attention to. Too.
Thirsty.
Yeah.
Yell at
Yeah.
you.
Thirsty
Yeah, 'cause
Thurston.
I could.
I'll let you interrupt Thurston from killing if you so wish, because, yeah, you would definitely be keeping a specific eye on Thurston.
And this would be
Oh.
after Alistair, right?
Yeah.
I feel like Alistair's probably feeding the same time as us, but since Thurston's being like taking his
Exactly.
time and
Mhm.
talking to them and whatnot.
This is why you don't notice Alistair, because you're so fucking
Yeah.
worried
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah, honestly.
So at
Um,
this point, Evelyn really would say, "Look forward to lose 1 staff, more than 1 staff a night."
Right. Sorry.
Aldrich would just reach and grab him by the back of the head if he's taking too long. Not do anything
If-
forceful yet, just place his hand there. Thurston.
Perfect. Doing
You hear
so
a pop as he
prevents
pulls his teeth out.
Thurston from slaking any of his hunger. Pulled off just in time as they saw the beast inside of him welling up and taking control to stop him killing another of their staff. They stop him, and he is unable to slake any hunger.
Okay.
Sir Drake.
So Drake's gonna pick the biggest, muscliest looking dude and have a little homoerotic wrestle and get some bites in as he's doing so.
The biggest muscly looking one that wasn't pretty enough for Evelyn to take.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
We're getting very specific here. Do strength and broad form, please, Sir Drake.
That's my predator roll. So that's fine.
Oh, perfect.
We
That's
need
all it
a-
was
we,
going
we
for.
just need a scale.
We're never taking them back to our place again.
You can't even undo that one either.
Reputation rescinded.
Okay,
Bit a little too
I've got
hard.
one
The
for you that isn't going
inspector's
to
the
involve you
only
killing him.
one.
So Drake gets a little bit feisty with his prey, unfortunately slightly losing control and asserting his dominance over this pathetic kine, and ends up nearly turning the kine into a bloody smear upon the floor with his fists alone. Fortunately, he's able to control himself, but the kine is seriously hurt and will require medical attention and at least a day from work, but you may slake 2 hunger.
Stop damaging the goods.
Aldrich, you may also slake 2 hunger, by the way.
What are you talking about? I left this one in one piece.
In his mind, Aldrich is like, this is why I went to Evelyn's place and not mine.
For bringing them here again.
Take a pop bottle, twist off the head, and drink.
Oh yeah, when we're done, I
mean-
just gotta look up, go, oops.
At least this didn't happen at Elysium.
Yeah, thank God. Inspector's the only one who is like on the verge of losing it. He drank nicely. Everyone else comes in calm and gets wild.
That's on brand for us.
It's the opium.
Takes the edge off.
Is there anything else you'd like to do before you retire for the morning?
No!
Sure? Don't want to get a wet
No,
towel, roll it up and flick Mithras's balls or anything like that just to finish it off?
Well, now that you mentioned it,
No, but I think I have a new ambition. And it's not flick Mithras in the balls. I'm gonna have a threesome with Pandora and the the Santi.
The way it's going, it might happen. So, Aldrich, willpower check for me, please.
Oh, Lord.
No, not
You all got
Does it
not
really matter at this point?
Yes.
I'm hurting somebody. I've used willpower. Oh no, this is just to go home. Yeah.
You're staying at the house. Eveline. You're staying at the house.
Don't we need like 6 to not stay at the house at this point?
I've capped it to 5 at the
7
moment.
probably now.
So Drake, willpower check for me, please. You're staying at the house. Thurston. Thirsty Thurston. Willpower check
On
for me,
brand
please.
tonight.
You better believe you're staying at the house. Inspector Grey and Alistair are free, of course, to return to their havens. And I think that's London by Gaslight for this week. What a messy game. So, Aldrich, who are you and where can we find you?
I am Bully. I run stories for Table Goth, and then sometimes I'm playing games like this to humble myself, get beat up. Check out our YouTube. We got stuff on there. We got tutorials. We got games. We're starting Cult of the Blood Gods. We just started recording. We'll start our actual stream, I believe, in 2 weeks over on the Onyx pack.
Oh, awesome.
Keep an eye out for that.
Nice.
Alistair, who are you and where can we find you when you're not talking to rugs? Or sock puppets?
Or sock puppets. God, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen next week. You find me here in Discord, yeah.
Eveline, who are you? Where can we find you?
Would you like a moist towelette?
That
Okay,
should have
I'm
been
Miss Hart.
Thurston's name.
Moist towelette? That's what Claire calls him.
Hey, Ender.
Ms. Hearts. You can find me occasionally, randomly, pretty rarely, streaming on Twitch. You can find me on Tuesday nights on the Base Radio, 7 p.m. Central Time for I Want My 80s show. And follow me on Twitter, and of course, I'm here. And, I always forget this part. If you need graphic design or promotional products, check out gibopromo.com.
Inspector Grey, 4 and 3 ago. Where can we find you, and who are you?
Don't
You
forget the
can
spider.
find me. Oh yeah, you can find me here playing tabletop on Table of Horrors and in the Discord.
So Drake, who are you, and where can we find you?
Mark over at the Bullet Club. You can find us twitch.tv/Bullet Club every Friday at 10:30 GMT. Nitro, been guesting on there for a while, and this week we've got Ellen Graham from Babybeard Media. They do the Roll to Cast podcast. Very good, amazing production value on that. So go check those guys out. But yeah, she's going to be guesting in our campaign this Friday. And this Sunday, we're doing a watch along for the AEW pay-per-view, in which the main event is going to be an exploding barbed wire death match. So even if you've never watched wrestling before, come check that out. Because, come on, exploding barbed wire death match. Yeah, that's it.
You have me at exploding barbed wire, but deathmatch as well? Yes. Moist Towelette, who are you and where can we find you?
You can find me at twitter.com/moisttowelette. No, you can find me pretty much everywhere at NitroTypeAt. Like Mark said, I am guesting over on their games so graciously as long as I can foreseeably show up. And yeah, Mark, did you mention that you have somebody extra on this week?
Ellen from
Yes, I
Roll
did.
to Cast. Yeah,
Okay,
she's on fire.
I'm sorry, I've been zoning
That's
out
right.
all night.
That's why you
But
keep killing
yeah,
people.
so that's exactly. But yeah, that's about it. Super fun.
And of course, we can't go until Nitro says a line.
Moist towelette.
Good enough. We'll go a rating on Ken Daddy, because we love Ken Daddy, and it was good of him to guest this week for us. We'll be back
Oh yeah.
next week, and we might be running a game or two something this weekend. Thank you all for coming.